Hi everybody, welcome to Wrestling Wrap for the week of March 3rd. Now today is March 6th, so I'm going to wrap up some of the stories that hit the headlines in the wrestling world this week so far. It looks like WWE still has plans to continue with WrestleMania 36 in Tampa, Florida at the Raymond James Stadium, which will be taking place on Sunday, April 5th. Of course, they're concerned about the safety of spectators, but at the same time, they don't want to put a hold on this major event that wrestling fans look forward to every year. However, they are keeping in mind the safety and concerns for everyone attending the event. Stephanie McMahon put out a statement to the Tampa Bay Times saying that health and safety of not only our fan base, but also our superstars really does come first. We don't want to put anyone in a bad situation ever, regardless of the circumstance. Those are not risks worth taking. Now, both New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom have canceled much of their March slate due to coronavirus. However, we haven't seen any cancellations from major sports teams in the NBA, NHL, or baseball league. Now, I will call out, because I work in this environment too, for people that work in marketing and events, a lot of these things have been canceled. A lot of these conventions. There's a whole slate of events happening in the US, and out of concern, many organizers put a halt on production. For example, we've seen many events canceled, like the Baltimore's Women of the World Festival, which was supposed to have 1,000 attendees. The 58th annual US Senate Youth Program event in Washington, D.C., that was a 2-day event, was canceled. Northwestern University's annual dance marathon, as well as TED conferences in Vancouver, and the Ultra Music Festival in Miami, and Tomorrowland Winter 2020 Music Festival that was supposed to take place in March the 14th to the 21st. Now, I am someone who has been personally affected by these cancellations, as I do work in the event marketing space too. Natural Products Expo West in Anaheim was also canceled, and that was supposed to bring people from all over the world internationally. As you can see the concern, they thought it could be an unsanitary situation, and with so many people coming to this event in thousands, it was definitely not a good idea. WWE is still sticking with it. Do you guys think that WWE will in fact proceed, or as we get closer to that April 5th date, will there be new revelations to come? Please let us know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is Wrestling Wrap and we gotta share it all. I am here to report that Rip Oliver has passed away at the age of 67. He was a Northwest wrestling legend who held a heavyweight title more times than anyone reported in history. He was born October 6, 1952. Rip Oliver had suffered multiple heart attacks and was recently placed in hospice care a little more than a week ago. It's unfortunate to report his death, but we will remember him for his time in WWF and in the Northwest. Thank you for your contributions, and we send our condolences to your son and the rest of your family. Were you a fan of Rip Oliver? Let us know in the comments. Next up, Dennis Rodman will be featured in a WWE Untold episode to premiere later this month. You can catch that on March 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern on the WWE Network. Now, it's going to cover Rodman and Hollywood Hogan's match against Karl Malone and DDP from WCW Bash at the Beach 1998. WWE.com reported, now, for the first time ever, Rodman will tell his version of events, providing never-before-heard details about that marquee match and much more. They also will include new interviews with Hogan, DDP, and Eric Bischoff. It's going to be super interesting, I'm sure, as we just saw an awesome episode with Rey Mysterio most recently. But what can we expect for this one? I'm really excited. This should be super interesting. Let us know your thoughts. In other news, Access TV takes on Nielsen ratings. Prior to, they were using Rentrack ComScore, which is measured viewership via regular cable and satellite set-top boxes. Nielsen's are considered the industry standard, especially when it comes to advertisers, and most companies and networks make money through their advertisers. Access, I'm really looking forward to seeing where your ratings lead you to and how Impact Wrestling is affected week to week. And last but definitely not least, as you all know, my favorite, Kevin Owens. Now, Kevin recently made some comments about when he made his NXT debut at NXT TakeOver Our Revolution, taking on CJ Parker. Parker. Now, this was a singles competition, and the match lasted just over 3 minutes, but Owens was left with a broken nose. My poor baby Kevin Owens. And it was because of a palm strike by Parker. Now, both were bloody in different areas. One had a nose injury, one had a hand injury, but Kevin Owens put out the comment that when CJ Parker hit me with the palm strike and that managed to break my nose, the fact that he hit me so hard, he ended up cutting his own hand on the bone. So he was bleeding from the hand and I was bleeding from the nose. He covered me and I kicked out. He had concern in his voice and my exact words were, "You exploded my nose." We finished the match, we came back, and I was so happy he broke my nose because it was the perfect way to start things off. He and I got really close after that, and he's to this day one of my favorite people in the world. Well, that's pretty awesome, Kevin. If he's a friend of yours, then he's definitely a friend of mine. If you enjoyed this first Wrestling Wrap edition, please let me know. Tell me what you'd like me to do, improve on, talk about. I am here for you guys, the fans. I want to make this the best Wrestling Wrap you've heard with no interruptions by Christian or Christian's Closet. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you next time.